Okay, so I'm nicely back from Into the Wild Festival, and it's been so beautiful just to be getting out the car on the Thursday afternoon and walking barefoot for the whole time. So for the whole duration, from Thursday afternoon through to Monday lunchtime, just barefoot, which I found really so nurturing, nourishing, just soaking up the Mother Earth energy, that infinite wisdom, the groundedness. So found that really awesome, and I've always felt really invigorated after a festival just by just being fully grounded in that way. So I invite you, if you don't do much barefoot walking, is to to get your socks and shoes off, find a nice park or somewhere, and really sort of get yourself grounded and soak up those nutrients. So really loving that. So also for the last few days I haven't produced any videos. I kind of realised that on Friday the internet was just so terrible, it just wouldn't perform and do anything, so really it was just a few days to soak everything in, and to be fair, although I'm saying I was very grounded from being walking on the bare ground, I was sort of like, energy was scattered a bit here and there and everywhere, so I might not be making much sense. It was all happening and a lot of stuff to integrate. Beautiful kind of place for transformation. One of my favourite things would have been the family constellations. I went to two of those workshops, and I was picked twice to be a representative. On the first day, I was the potential boyfriend, that potentiality, so I represented that particular part. And on the second day, this lady, she had a few things going on with anger and grief and abandonment, and so the facilitator had asked her to pick out 3 different people to represent each one of those aspects, and I was abandonment. So I had this one of these cloaks, and I was burying myself and feeling into that part myself. So it was as much healing for her as it was for me in some respects. It's just good to embody what it felt like to be abandoned, rejected in that kind of way. So that was a beautiful thing. And as were all the workshops, they had some kind of common theme and crossovers. So found them as always to be of huge benefit, and also gets me thinking that some of these workshops I could easily be facilitating myself. So it's really brought me back to that place of making more offerings. Another thing which I've done quite often at whether it was at Butterfield or Medicine Fest, I have what's called a life reading, and there's a guy called Tim who does that. I can tag him into these posts, and it was beautiful just to revisit that, and one of my videos where I talked about affirmations, I'd used one of his, which was there is no way that I am, and another one which was there is no way that it is. And it was just good to be reminded of that, especially in the context of love. And anything past relationship wise was my past, and doesn't define me, doesn't define what a relationship looks like. There is no way that I am, and there is no way that it is. There's a lot of experience, of course, that's happened, but it doesn't mean to say that history has to repeat itself. So it was very, very good just to sort of break those chains of whatever was going on in that particular sense, and to be reminded that really that love is our default, our default emotion. And then on further processing of that, looking at things like the unconditional love workshop that I went to, and realising that, I've kind of already known this, but love is a choice. We choose our partners, and we keep committing to that love every day that we wake up. We re-choose that partner. And like with everything, there's only 2 choices in this world. We either choose from a place of love or a place of fear. It's as simple as that. What do we choose? What do we choose on that daily basis? Do we come from a place of scarcity and fear, or do we come from a place of love and expansion? So it was very expanding for me to be in that energy for this long weekend. Beautiful to make so many connections, and even sort of like people that I've done workshops with, I was facilitating a workshop at the beginning of the year, co-facilitating, and there was a participant there, and he was actually in one of these workshops. I thought, I recognise him from Zoom, so went across afterwards. It was just a beautiful thing, you know, it really does make the world a smaller place, you know, by meeting up at these festivals, and the amount of other connections that I, you know, reconnected with whilst there at the weekend. So yeah, it's been a beautiful time, and it's certainly given me some fuel for further videos. You know, I'd like to explore relationships more. I know it has some kind of fear in me to actually be able to talk into that subject, but you know, that is something that I'll be moving into. So yes, I can talk about some of those dynamics there, and then also addictions was another element that was brought up in a family constellation, and there was some beautiful kinds of anchoring things for me. I mean, I'm not currently in an addictive cycle pattern at the moment. I seem to have dealt with those really well, and I can spot them coming and choose, again, you know, choose from love or from fear. So I can choose and I can recognise, but again, you know, there was some really good things within there. So yeah, watch out for those two potential videos coming up. So I'll leave it at that for now, and yeah, lots of love to you all, and I will see you on the next video. So ciao for now.